Da-da-da-da-da. We've got Singapore surfing legend Arfian in the studio to teach us how to stretch it out like a surfer. But you'll also remember him as the guy who brings you to the market, bringing your telur, your roti, your telur and your roti. He's going to join us for an interview as well. Plus, we're talking to the ever fabulous Munah right here on today's show. Make sure you stay with us. This is The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara. Good morning, it's Whacky Wednesday.
That's right. Sorry, you threw it to me. We've got an epic lineup this Wednesday right here on The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara. Lots and lots of stuff going on. We've got two main guests, which we will tell you a little bit about later on. But just to recap what you would have already seen today, we had First Light at 7:30 a.m., which as our seniors workout. I hope you had a nice good stretch and flex.
Then over to our Power to Zen. 8:30 was when we started our yoga stretch this morning with Dawn as well as Uncle Sam. They do a great job. Then, of course, you've got the next hour with ourselves on The Morning Show. And we've got, like we said, some incredible guests joining us here today. And then later on, 12 p.m. in your house with Mr. Raj Kumar.
At 3 p.m., it's Back to Basics with Nat Dow, kind of breaking things down just a little bit for you. And at 9 p.m., you've got Evenings with John and Duncan.
But first, let's get through to the numbers for our COVID-19 update today. First up, 884 new cases, a bit of a spike there. 4 community cases, however, and 3 of them work permit holders residing outside of the dorms.
877 cases of work permit holders residing within the dorms. There's a total of 98% linked to known clusters. The rest, of course, are pending contact tracing, bringing us to a total of 24,671. So it's good that the community cases are still kind of staying in the single digits.
Yep.
We again, like Kelly mentioned, there is that spike, which can be a little bit disheartening, but, you know, we want to focus on the good points, and I think this is a silver lining for everything.
There is absolutely a silver lining for everything. And I think one of those silver linings is the fact that we are doing so much more, especially with COVID-19, to ensure that we have ample supplies of produce grown locally here in Singapore. And the government's doing a lot to make sure that over the next few years or so that we are spending more of our land resources and dedicating it to growing things here in Singapore. Last week we had the Edible Garden City joining us, showing us how we can grow basic microgreens at home, but that is not all that's being done. Is that right, Meg?
No, so the Singapore Food Authorities have teamed up with HDB, and they've launched tenders for 9 urban farming sites across HDB car parks. Now, the first one happened last year at Ang Mo Kio, and it's completely taken off. So now they've launched 9 more sites, 2 of which will be clusters. So they're bigger areas that will be tendered out to multiple, people or organizations. And the others will all be individual ones that people can apply for and send proposals in to do.
Now, it's really interesting about how we can actually start learning how to grow our own crops at home. Community farms are a great way to get together and help foster a bit of bonding as well, really provoking that kampong spirit, because when you grow things together and you're eating the produce that you have had a hand in creating, it's really a different feeling. When you cook and when you eat the things that you've actually grown yourself, there's
it's like a sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, satisfaction, a greater appreciation for the food and food sources. And if you have kids at home, it's actually a great way to teach them about food sustainability, where their food comes from. And this is something that we've been trying to do at home as well. So you can start with simple things like growing chia seeds, or you can even take your lemongrass roots, your ginger roots, your spring onion roots, and start recultivating using the little stemmy stalky bits at the bottom. Just pop them in a little bit of water, leave them there for a couple of weeks, changing your water regularly so that you don't get those mosquitoes, and you'll actually start to see the roots developing. Once those roots develop, you can plant them back in soil. They just need a little bit of sunlight, so you can grow them out in your corridors, on your windowsills, but just make sure you've got no killer litter, no plant pots falling off your windowsills.
Or you can do what Kelly also does and just like throw your scraps out and
Compost.
end up with a little bit of a garden.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what might grow? I swear I might have a lemon tree out there soon.
And it's great because now this whole initiative now enables a lot of space for, testing and just trying out new things, new initiatives, and
new
really
technology.
exploring and learning. Each of these spaces between 1,000 to 3,000 square feet.
Now,
So there's a lot of space on the roof of these HEB car parks.
I was just going to say, our rooftops, many of them are flat. It's a great way to utilize space that we don't have on the ground. So if we're building up, let's utilize the top surfaces, the flat surfaces of these areas. I mean, let's face it, how many of you ever park on the top floor of your car park? Nobody, because it's too hot.
It's too hot.
But the sun is therefore perfect for growing lots of crops, and that's something that we can do as a community to ensure that we reduce our reliance on overseas providers.
And the Singapore Food Authorities, I mean, ultimately they aim for Singapore to be able to locally produce 30% of their farming substances by 2030.
Which is incredible.
Which I think is a good goal. And I think one of the nicest things about Singapore itself and why a lot of people tend to move here is that we're such an urban country, but there's still so much greenery. I mean, you go into the CBD, there are so many trees, the buildings incorporate greenery in it, and it's appeasing on the eyes.
It's nice, and it's a
healthy.
lot healthier.
Oxygen.
Although, speaking of local, today's giveaway.
Oh,
Local
yes.
brand Kydra. Now, you're a big fan, aren't you, May?
Yes, I do love Kydra stuff. They started up a couple of years ago, and they've done nothing but improve on the quality of their gear. Very comfortable. I've got a couple of shorts and tops in my shopping bag at the moment.
I like it.
And we're giving away $20 vouchers.
Awesome. So that means that you'll be able to nicely offset whatever you want to purchase from their site. All you got to do is answer this question.
Are you a shorts or tights kind of person?
You see, I would say I was always a tights kind of girl, but then it's been so hot lately. I've only wanted to wear shorts when I'm at home. It's become my de facto uniform.
Especially because we're working out at home, right?
Exactly. We are hot, we are sweaty, we are gross, and shorts are just a very easy way. But you tell us, are you a shorts or tights kind of person? If you're a guy, you could also answer that question.
Exactly.
Are you a
It
shorts
totally applies.
or tights kind of person? Make sure you're also liking and sharing our Facebook stream as well on Get Active TV. And who knows, you could be walking away with that $20 Kydra voucher.
We're going to go
We're going to go
for a short break.
But when we return, we've got Arfian, who is going to be joining us in studio to stretch it out with Barbara and then have a little bit of a chat with me. Do not go away. This is The Morning Show with
Kelly and Barbara.
Step right up, draw the next card. You're one of the brighter animals, so get along with everybody else.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. Kelly has popped out probably to get another coffee. I am, however, joined by Arfian. He is a sports champion with Active SG. That's
Yes,
right?
correct.
Yes, you are. And he might seem a little bit familiar, especially if you've tuned in for the 7:30 a.m. first light workouts for our senior citizens, because he was doing a very cool kind of step exercise last week. I think it was episode 9. Very, very cool. And honestly, the best thing that we loved about it is how committed you were to demonstrating everything. You're like, okay, you're walking in the shopping mall, telur, roti, and then you're holding a basket as well, telur, roti. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, no problem.
Now, something that other people might not know about you is that you also represented Singapore to surf as well.
Yeah.
And how's that?
It's a cool feeling, eh?
It's a good feeling?
Yeah.
So, cool. What we're going to do today is go through some stretches or exercises that are more surf-oriented, right? Because I can't surf, but I would like to be able to work on a little bit more balance. And I know that surfing engages a lot of the body,
Yeah.
right?
Basically, the whole part.
The whole
Yeah.
thing. Okay, cool. So it's going to be like a full body gear up to ready me for life. Okay, take it away. What have we got?
Okay, starting, we go with the lower part of the body first.
Okay.
It's where quite important because when we pop, we need the stance and all that to be strong.
Pop.
So against, yes.
Oh, when you pop on the board?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sit down on the floor.
Okay. You go there a bit lah, then I also can do.
Where? Oh, okay.
So we have good distance between us.
Social distancing.
Yes. Safe distance. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do the 90-90 stretch, yeah.
So, right, like, oh,
Okay.
my hips just cracked.
Starting, okay, straighten your body.
Okay.
Yeah, hands in front. Then you go forward. Stretch.
Okay. I'm trying. Wow, you're quite flexible. Yeah. Okay. So this is working my left glute
Yeah.
and also that right hip as well.
Then up.
Uh-huh.
Slowly. Then we're gonna do turn.
We're going to turn to the left.
Yeah.
Oh, good back stretch. I do like this. I feel elegant. I'm not sure if I look elegant, but
This
We'll
is
work on it.
important because when you ride on the wave, once you start, you need to turn. So you need to turn here, turn there. Yeah?
oh, okay. That's
Then you
good.
See the way you suck like that.
Oh, sup.
Yes.
Sup like that. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, let's change leg.
I'm going to do the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same 90-90 position.
90-90.
Forward. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. And leaning in, feeling that flexibility. I mean, it's always really important to breathe through these exercises, especially if you're doing it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, stiff.
Can you feel the stretch?
Oh, I can feel a stretch. There is also, when you do the twist, there's a nice little stretch just on the quads. The hip flexors going down to the
Yeah.
quads as well.
All right. Now I'm going to do on my favorite position.
Your favorite
Yes,
one.
my favorite stretching.
Whoa.
Okay, ready?
Okay,
Go down as low as you can.
that's it already.
Ready?
This is as far as I go, guys.
Ready?
Also, I need
and
pants.
Go.
Hwah. Okay, I'm just gonna. Wow, the stark difference, guys.
This one like Shaolin one.
Like, Shaolin. Hiya! He's in it. He's pulling it. Okay, what's next?
Just now I feel a zen.
Oh, you're feeling the zen.
Yes.
Come on, Barbara, you can do it.
Hey, I'm trying, okay? I'm gonna blame it on the pants. Yeah. Okay, what else have we got?
Okay, let's go for the upper body.
Upper body.
Yeah.
And are these are all stretches that you guys do before training and stuff?
Yeah,
to
before.
kind of gear up your
But
body.
normally, you're supposed to stretch a lot lah. But normally when you see the waves coming out,
You just wanna.
yes, you forgot all about it. Normally we do the arms, the last part, because we don't want it to be to cool down right after when you're inside the water. This is
Right.
part very important because you need to pedal non-stop.
Yeah, I've heard that it gets quite tiring.
Yeah.
Like paddling out, you're going against the current,
Against the
Like,
wind, against Mother Nature basically.
paddle for half an hour, and the beach is still like right there. I feel like that might be me when I try surfing eventually one day. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, upper body, what have we got?
Yeah, we just stretch our arm like
Okay.
left or right. No, that's the simple thing.
Simple ones.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel a nice little pull there, which is also why we sometimes get physios in here, just so that they
And
can
normally
help.
at the same time when we stretch, we look at the wave, the condition and all that.
Oh, you look
so
at the
where
waves.
we want to go in.
So now
where
we're
to
just
pedal up.
imagining, right, that we can
Yes.
see waves. Look longingly at the waves. Yeah, we've got our crew just kind of like pretending to be the waves for us over there. Thank you.
Okay, pull back.
Oh, pull back. Oh, good stretch. Make sure you want to get that nice side body stretch as
And
well.
change.
I feel like I should be doing a workout after this. Maybe when we go for a break and Kelly takes you for the next segment, I can get a quick workout in.
Set your body, loosen up. Okay, the last
Yeah,
one.
we all know that's not going to happen.
This is the last part.
Oh.
Imagine you are like the Balinese dancer.
Okay.
Okay? And
Sure.
twist.
Twist.
Can you feel the stretch?
That one.
And
Oh,
the-
one go down. And one goes up. Does the body move?
And change.
Yes, I'm feeling graceful. Why do I always get these stretches that end up like having certain dance? Oh, you stopped. Okay. I was getting into it. I was like, yes.
I was
Stretchy,
just
stretchy,
watching you.
stretchy. Yes, that actually feels good. I feel nice and limber, nice and loose. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this stretch and gearing me up for it.
Yeah.
We are going to go for a short little break, but you're going to stick around. I'm going to tap out. Kelly's going to tap back in and talk a little bit more about you. Going for that break now. Don't forget to also comment and tell us, are you a shorts or a tights kind of person when you do your workout? And you might just walk away with a $20 voucher from Kydra. Don't go anywhere.
Step right up, draw the next card. You one of the brighter animals, so get along with everybody else. Is the ship sinking? I've been thinking. Are we sinking? I've been thinking. Wake up call, throw the next on. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Back. Hey. Back. Pull side basket. Okay, carry the basket. One more time. Take roti, take egg. No, roti. March on the spot. This time got people. Stay the same distance, 1 meter. See again, roti. Tap. Take. Tap. Egg. And back. Pull inside your basket. Okay, now you pretend you're carrying your basket. If you at home, you got basket or plastic bag, just bring it. Okay? So imagine you are in the supermarket once again. This is the aisle in the middle. Here got sell roti, here got sell egg. And you see, got a lot of people. What you have to do is, what you can do is, Yeah. Right, take roti. Left, take the break. Come back. Okay. Understand? One more time. There, roti. Right. Roti. Left.
Welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara and Arfian,
Yes.
who has properly stretched out now with Barbara. Dude, you are really flexible. Like, I think you put Barbara to shame a little bit. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the video that just played out. First Light, you came on last week and you were showing all our machis at home how to go grocery shopping. And you know, like, I feel that's really important, you know. First Light, 7:30, that's typically when we have our seniors tuning in because they tend to sleep a little bit less, they're up early, they want to be active and they want to do things. And I think it just goes to show that fitness isn't about a six-pack, bulging biceps, huge quads and glutes. Like, it's actually about having the strength, the stamina to go out and do the basic daily things, like grocery shopping, for example, right?
Yeah.
So how have you been encouraging people to make sure that they can stay active as they get older?
It's part of my daily job to get the community, the elders, the seniors, the masters to start exercising. Because we are an aging population, so it needs to start somewhere.
And how did you get into all of this?
It's part of my job. Then lately, as you can see on my social media, I've been like asking people to do this, to do that, to exercise and all that. Yeah.
It's really good. I think like you've become like this little influencer by yourself, telling people to make sure that they exercise, that they mask up as well. How many different masks do you own? You seem to have quite a lot.
Yes.
Like every single day he posts like this different mask of the day, and I love it. Like, it's great to show the community as well what else can be done to make sure that we're staying safe, right?
All this like started out of frustration because I see a lot of them not wearing masks, then near the kids and all that, not adhering to the social distancing. So slowly I like thought of this thing just to create this awareness, at the same time insert my humor.
Your humor is one of the key factors why we have you on the show, because we absolutely loved your video last week. And what was the inspiration behind telling the makcik to ambil telur roti? Like where did that come from? Was that something that you felt you needed to explain to them, or what?
You want the honest answer?
Yes.
To be honest, I forgot my steps.
So you just made it up on the spot?
Yeah, then I suddenly remembered the storyline, and I just came out with this egg. All those hot items that were sold out and all that.
Yeah, I remember the tissue paper as well. You're like, I'll make tissue paper. Yeah. So okay, that's kind of cool, right? I mean, the fact that you're able to think quickly on your feet. And speaking of thinking quickly on your feet, as a surfer, as someone who led the surfing contingent in Philippines, which was our first time surfing as well, right? You had to be very quick on your feet. You had to get the guys out there and performing. How was that experience for you?
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Like, nobody thought Singapore could send a surfing team to the SEA Games. But
that's your team. That's your team. How proud are you of our surfing team?
I'm really proud of these guys, especially the guys behind the scene, the guys from the Surfing Association of Singapore. We started off in 2011 with the vision of going to all these competitions and the major games. Like, slowly, we managed to enter the SEA Games, and basically we are like our version of the Jamaican bobsled team.
That's right, cool runnings. You guys are cool runnings. Because let's face it, it must have been so difficult to train for a sport where we don't actually, we don't have waves.
Yeah.
So how was the team training?
Okay, basically if you are in Singapore, we just do physical training. Otherwise, we go overseas. Places like the nearest is in Malaysia, in Desaru. So,
but that's only certain times of the year, right?
Yeah.
You can only go when the monsoon hits.
During the monsoon. Right now, the monsoon has ended, so it's in Thailand.
Right.
So it's either we go to Desaru, once it's done, we go to Indonesia or go to Thailand. I also like to say thank you to the guys from Indonesia, Malaysia and Thailand for sharing the way with us. Without them,
it's a big community, isn't it? And it must have also been, like you said, it's the surfing community is quite interesting. The dynamic is such that everybody wants to be the best, but they're very happy and very willing to be an inclusive society, because it's like if you live in Bali and you're training in Bali and you are representing Team Indonesia, you could very easily say, no, Team Singapore, you go.
Yeah.
You don't come and train on my water, you go somewhere else. But they didn't do that, did they? They welcomed you.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's the spirit of all of surfing. We help each other out.
So let's talk a little bit more about surfing, because you mentioned surfing and your eyes light up.
Yes.
How did you get into it? Because it's not a sport, like I said, that you could just start picking up in Singapore.
Like, if you want to know about my background, initially I was a footballer.
Oh, football first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in the Balestier Central team. Back then it was called Balestier Central. In 1998, I was in the S-League team. But I always liked water sport. I always wanted to go surfing.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like, after I finished, during my footballing time, I was with my best friend. We were like planning to go to Bali. We always, after NS, you must go Bali. You must start surfing and all that. So after NS, we decided to go to Bali. Actually, my girlfriend back then don't allow me to go.
Oh.
Yes. Because there got a lot of girls. So she's afraid.
Truth hurts.
But I told her, no. We already been planning this for years, so we have to go. So
Your surfboard is like your rifle, right? Essentially, your surfboard is your girlfriend.
Yes.
Right? I know. Okay, yeah, so tell me about it.
Okay, so that's how I started. Back in 2001, went to Bali. Before that, I went to Desaru. Learn the basics over there. Then I go to Bali, go to countries. So like the furthest I've been to is like I was like in Dubai. I went there to visit my in-laws, and then thankfully there's a wave pool there. There's also the wave pool. So surfing has like teach me a lot of things. Brought me to places. Opened up my eyes.
What has it taught you? Because lots of sports, lots of different disciplines instill different values in people.
Yeah.
If you do martial arts, for example, a lot of it is tenacity, determination, discipline, for example. But what has surfing taught you?
Something different, which is like once you start, you never stop. Yeah. So even if you are old, not strong enough, there's still certain equipment which allow you to still continue surfing.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
you get
what?
the
Like what?
longer board.
A longer
board, thicker board, yeah.
Because you do have short boards and you have
Yeah.
long boards. And actually those were the two different categories
Yeah.
for SEA Games
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
Philippines,
Right.
right? So we had a longboard team and we had a shortboard team. One of our longboard females, Becky Liu,
Yes.
she'd picked up like real quick. She lives out in Bali, so that's how she was able to train a little bit. And she runs a bikini company called Haikini, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Have you got any Haikinis at home?
No.
No, she hasn't sponsored you yet.
Only the t-shirt.
Only the t-shirts are. The t-shirts are good too. But it's interesting and enterprising to see how our other surfers as well, like Arthur Kaur, he was riding the shortboard and he's a personal trainer. So that's how he keeps fit and stays in shape. So it's interesting to see how different people from different walks of life have come together to form Team Singapore.
We are like a bunch of misfits.
But good misfits,
Yeah.
right? So like you said, what has the sport taught you?
About discipline, those normal things that other sports teach. But the only different thing for me is like the spirit, the spirit of giving. Like we always do donations and all that. We help out each other. Like let's say, I think a few years ago, in Lombok, there was an earthquake. So we just contacted. We got friends back there. So we just contacted our Singaporean guys whether they want to donate and all that. Also currently we are the Surfing Association of Singapore. We are selling the bandanas, and then all proceeds will go to the one of the SG United initiative for the Buka Puasa. Yes, giving the Rahmatan Lil Alamin Foundation.
So how can people donate to that? Like, do they just go to the website or?
Yeah, they can go to the website. They can go to me.
Okay.
So all the proceeds will go to the donation.
Awesome. That is absolutely incredible. And just to wrap us up for this little chat, what is your hope for Surfing Singapore?
Okay. We hope to not just stop at SEA Games. We were supposed to go to the Olympics and upcoming Asian Beach Games, but with this COVID-19 situation, we don't really know whether is it going to be on. But we know Olympics has been called off.
Well, postponed.
Yeah, postponed.
Postponed to
Yeah.
next year.
For the Asian Beach Game, we are not sure yet. For long term, first and foremost, we hope to get the surf pool in Singapore.
And do you think that's going to happen? Do you think we're going to get a nice surf pool?
Please, please.
Awesome. Arfian, thank you so much for joining us in
Welcome.
studio, sharing a little bit more about your work that you've done with the seniors. Oh, but very quickly, you've also been doing something else with your time. You have also been helping out with the foreign workers at the dormitories, haven't you?
Yes.
So what was that like? What were you doing?
The feeling is a bit, honestly, it's a bit scary.
Really?
But then we already have all those safety procedure on, so it should be fine.
So as a frontliner, what was your role? What were you doing?
Looking after them, like let's say, their needs and all that lah.
Okay.
Like their daily things, like they need to have food, showers and all that.
Oh wow, so you were assisting them with all of that?
Yeah.
That is incredible. I'm quite in awe of how much you give and how much you serve. So thank you very much for sharing all of that.
Welcome.
Whether you are serving the Surfing Association, whether you are serving our aging population, or whether you are serving our foreign workers as well. Thank you so much, Arfian, for joining us. And hopefully we'll get you back on for First Light so that we can see you doing more pasar shopping. Telur roti, telur roti. Don't go away. You're still here on The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara. After the break, we will be chatting with Munah. Don't go anywhere.
Step right up, draw the next card. You water the plant, we're animals, so get along with everybody else. Is the ship sinking? I've been thinking. Are we sinking? I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. One of these days you're gonna be. One of these days I'm gonna feel this haze. Gonna a wake up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. It is Whacky Wednesday, and who better to have than actor, host, and wizard Munah.
Good morning.
Hi girl, you looking fresh.
I'm so excited to be here. Hi, guys.
It's like we can almost touch you. Almost.
We're kind of hanging out
we're
in that
group-
virtual hug life.
Group hug. How,
I feel like
how's,
this is what I have to do now, like when I speak to you.
how's it going? How's Circuit Breaker treating you?
Good. Things are going good. I mean, like, Circuit Breaker has been quite a journey, I think, for a lot of us. It's about, like, really adapting to working from home. It's very different. But it's good. Like, personally, I find that it forces me to rest a bit more and spend a bit more time with my mom. So that's always good. Like, I try to find a silver lining in it.
Yeah, because you've always had like a pretty manic schedule to begin with. And obviously with a lot of, as with most of us, a lot of work isn't happening anymore. How have you had to, you know, switch over in terms of the work-life stuff?
I think even with work, it's kind of finding new ways to create something. So even when like brands or whatever come to me and saying like, oh, we want to do stuff, but like more focus on work from home, like how do you make working from home interesting? You know, like how do you make like content about working from home interesting? So I guess it's just, like I said, like readapting to what like viewers need now, or like how you even shoot it. It's down to that it's so different, you know, like there's no luxury of like going outside, like having a crew with you and working like as a big team. It's all like really just finding simplicity in it again.
It's like school budget productions all over again. Fun fact, all of us went to the same course in Temasek Poly. We were all from CMM. And at any one point in time, because we're sort of like all evenly spaced out, there was like, it was either me and Munah or Munah and Barbara.
Yeah. And you recently posted a video of you going on an adventure at home with this little shark.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It was a super cute video. But how did that work in terms of shooting it? Because obviously, even though it's a short video, like we know that kind of production doesn't just happen in 5 minutes. A lot goes into it. How did you manage that one?
So that video was kind of fun to shoot because it was, you can't travel now, so why not you travel from home, you know, like turn your whole house into a whole place, a vacation. But shooting that, we took about a day. We planned beforehand. But what's interesting is nowadays when I shoot videos or photos, like my manager Yana will be like on Skype with me on the laptop, and I'll be the one running around with the tripod and setting things up. And she's like, okay, Ken, you can shoot now. So it's a whole production running on my side, and like she's helping me like just to oversee everything, which is so different.
But I was going to say, you kept on saying, we, and I'm like, you and who?
And my imaginary crew and director. It's in my head like, okay, guys, I think I did it. Great. Good job, guys.
I love it. So you live at home with your parents at the moment, right?
Yes, yeah.
But there are some changes that were supposed to happen pre-COVID, which have now been delayed. Talk to us a little bit about that one.
So I was looking at a little place of my own, mainly to, you know, just to expand, work a little bit, to have my own space. That was happening before COVID, well, not before COVID, before Circuit Breaker. But as soon as Circuit Breaker happened, like a lot of things got delayed. So, you know, I am stipulated to move into a new space later on in June. So I'm quite excited about that.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, just very excited. Like, that's it. That's all I can say for now.
And what do you think is the first thing you're going to do well, aside from moving house, but once the circuit breakers ended, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Not get McDonald's or bubble tea.
What?
Because, I don't know. You know what? I have never really thought about that. Like, what is the first thing I'm going to do? I don't know. I kind of am enjoying the working from home bit. What are you gonna do? Have you thought about it? The first thing you're gonna do after the breaker?
She wants to fly the coop. She wants to go to Australia.
I need to book a plane ticket to Australia. It needs to happen once travel restrictions ease up.
That is right. You gotta be safe and responsible.
Yeah, correct. That's right. But I think travel is one of the things on a lot of people's mind. But yes, listen to Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if not, for 2 weeks, she's going to have to host the show alone while I'm under quarantine.
I'm like, hey.
That's Kelly, I've got your back. Don't worry.
Thanks, girl. So I got to ask, I mean, you shot to fame. I remember when you guys were in Poly, it was sort of you and Hersey, and you were the dynamic duo in CMM. And you guys took that and ran with that and had Munah Hersey official. And you guys were a great duo for the better part of 10 years, right? It was 10 years that you guys called it quits. So talk us through that. I mean, obviously, you guys became a household name. Then you guys parted ways and started creating stuff by yourselves, but then sort of where is Munah going now? What horizons lie before you?
I think, yeah, well, the YouTube channel lasted for 10 years, and there were many times, like many different junctures where we thought like, okay, is this where we stop? Is this where the channel has grown and we move on? But it didn't feel right until the last like maybe like 9th, 10th year, where we thought like, okay, you know, like sometimes when you watch like a TV season and if it goes on for a season too long, you're like, oh, okay, you should have stopped it. We felt like the channel was at a good stage where we've created what we can, and we've put out messages that we want to, and it's time for us to focus on what we want to do individually. So for myself, I wanted to do a lot more theater. I wanted to go into, I guess I wanted to focus a lot more on acting. I was already doing that, but I just wanted to explore that, but also go into like theater producing. So right after the channel closed, I worked with Theatre Eka Matra on a couple of productions, just co-producing with the company director Shaza, who's still there at the moment. So that's where I'm hoping my path will open up. So I'm still focusing a lot more on acting and hosting, but I think I want to do more than that. I want to be able to create things as well, and on a more like live sort of scale. So that's quite challenging.
I was going to say,
Scary,
so how has that been? What was that
love.
experience like? You know, like suddenly stepping into this different role of producing from how you used to produce for Munah Hazi Official. What was the experience like going onto the theatre side of things and producing on that aspect?
It was so the first time I went into it, I thought I was gonna be like an apprentice, but no. Shaza was saying like, no, how about you co-producing me? I'm like, okay, cool. At least like, I have her as a mentor. But oh my god, it's so different. I mean, I expected it to be a lot of work, of course, and it's very different from producing for like a campaign video or like a YouTube video. You know, it's a lot more on a larger scale. Like you're looking at many different aspects of the production itself. So I think it took me a bit to just understand that, okay, there's so much, like you're done with this portion, but then there's lots more to do even after the show. And like I'm so used to being the actor, so like, you know, once you do the show for the night, you're like, okay, you can like switch off for a while until the next day. But no, I'm like, oh my god, I still have so much work to do. So that's just me being a little prissy complaining, but I love it, you know. Like the thing is, like with like the added challenge, I was just like, oh my god, this is so new, this is so exciting. I think this is really what I want to do. And that's how I knew also, like when I tried it and when I still loved it and want to do more with it, that I'm like, okay, yeah, this is really like the next path I want to explore.
Well, you seem like you're doing really, really well for yourself. You're also looking really fit.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you've been.
You guys.
Tell us how you've been keeping in shape, because I've been looking at some of your posts and you are looking mighty fine, girl.
Yeah, you were doing personal training for a while, but obviously that one-to-one personal training's come to a halt lately. So how have you guys managed to switch it up?
Yeah, so I've been training with Chen for about a year plus now, and like when circuit breaker happened, I was like, okay, definitely I cannot go to the gym, obviously, right? Just to stay safe. But we do it live, like we do it on video now, like everything is online, right? So she still trains me. Of course, it's a little different because you're not like with the gym equipment and things like that, but a lot of body weight workouts also are effective. And I guess maintaining it. I mean, like you two are like completely fit. You two are like my fit spose, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but like, I follow you guys' journey for a while.
Yeah, I need to stop eating
but yeah,
cookies.
I think it's about maintaining it and still trying to see her like at least twice a week during the circuit breaker. Yeah.
And it does make a difference, right? Having someone who is there keeping you accountable. What advice would you give to people who are looking to embark on a fitness routine at this current point in time?
I think really just don't put so much pressure on yourself. Like listen to your body, set a goal and start slow first. don't rush into like changing immediately, because it is about consistency. So you just have to be patient and consistent. I think
You've
that's
just
more important.
enabled Barbara to go, okay,
I'm
then,
good.
I'm good.
done.
I'm good. Just hanging with my arm down.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But also stay motivated.
That's right.
It's tough, right? I mean, I've got to admit, like, it's really a challenge to find that new routine, to motivate yourself when you're not in the environment that you usually train in.
Yeah. But this woman looks very motivated, training twice a week. Munah, thank you so much for joining us on the show. It's nice to see your face, and hopefully we'll be able to meet and have a real hug soon.
I know.
Virtual-
Thank you so
virtual
much
hug.
for
What
having me,
happened?
ladies.
Oh, the two of us are going in for it. Okay.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Munah. We are going for a short break.
But when we come back, it's your break it down. See you soon. Good morning. And
Step right up, draw the next card. You water the pipe, we're animals, so get along with everybody else. Is the ship sinking? I've been thinking. Are we sinking? I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. One of these days you're gonna feel. One of these days I'm gonna feel this haze. Gonna just a wake up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. Yeah, I know some of you realized that there was an
Spot the
outfit change,
difference.
but that's what happens when you spill coffee on you when you're trying to consume your third cup of the day.
it's okay. At least you have a nice backup outfit.
Thanks.
Looking very cute in all the leopard prints.
Thanks. I'm kind of loving the leopard prints. Anyway, if you haven't already done so, aside from commenting on my wardrobe change, tell us whether you're a shorts or tights kind of person.
Or
in
maybe
order to
skirt. Do you work out in a skirt?
No.
Good. We've got Break It Down coming up next. Betsy came in to stretch out those glutes and hamstrings, which clearly I need as well based on my stretch with Arfian earlier on. This is Betsy. Take it away.
Hello and welcome to Break It Down, the time when we get to break down your favorite exercises and movements, and so you know the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts and the best hacks to make it easier and also hopefully a lot harder for yourself. My name is Betsy, and today I'll be taking you through exercises to help strengthen your glute muscles, which are your bum muscles, as well as your hamstrings, which are the muscles behind your thighs. Okay, so let me introduce the movement first. We are going to use a mat and lie down on the floor, on the mat I mean. Okay, and now keep your heels a little closer towards your bums for this exercise. You don't want it to be too close like this, okay? You just want it to be slightly 1 foot distance away from your glutes, okay? So from here, we're just going to keep our chest open, place your hands down on the floor, palms pressing down, because you want to feel like later when you lift off, you're actually using your arm muscles a little to kind of hold the position stable. Now from here, I like to keep my feet in the same position. So I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of pushing and pulling of your feet away from you and also pulling it closer to you. Okay, so this will help you to mobilize the lower back first. Let me show you this exercise. So if you can see me, I'm going to bring my hands a little further so the camera can catch this movement. So as I lie down, there's a little gap under my lower spine, and that's a natural curvature of your spine, okay? Don't think that's abnormal. We don't have a flat spine, we all have a curve. Now from here, I'm just going to think of pushing my heels away from my bums. And as I do that, I keep pushing until I start to feel like my body wants to rock this way. And from here, if you can see closely, I'm actually pushing so much until my tailbone lifts off and my lower spine is now touching onto the mat. Okay, so I'm actually getting you to mobilize the lower back first. Okay, now from here, I'm going to pull the heels towards my bums. And if I pull so much, I feel like I'm going to arch my lower back. Okay, let's try again. Now pushing the heels away and think of pressing the lower spine down as your tailbone and your bum starts to lift off a little. And now we do the reverse. You pull your heels towards your bums and you feel like you need to arch the spine. Okay, one last time here. Exhale, now push the feet away and you need to kind of press the lower spine down. Okay, now from here, let's slowly roll the spine off. So I'm going to start to peel my lower back off the mat. And now my middle back, segment by segment, and now my upper back. Then now I'm on my shoulders as I lift up to what we call a shoulder bridge position. Now when you're here, some people tend to do this. Okay, that's not good. And some people tend to not lift up enough and they're not using their glutes and lower back enough and their hamstrings as well. So they're kind of sinking downwards. Okay, you want to make sure you push so hard until the front of your pelvis opens up. Okay, when you're here, maintain and try not to arch your rib cage. So you really want to gently place your hands on your ribs and think of kind of like melting down a little. Okay, now as you're here, if you stay long enough, you're going to feel your hamstrings are going to work, your bums are going to work, and you might feel your lower back as well. Okay, so these muscles work together. All right, so inhale, I'm going to stay here. Exhale, now I'm going to start to melt the spine down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Then we start to return the little arch to our lower back, okay? So we're just going to do one more time. So inhale, stay here. Exhale, push your heels away, start to mobilize the lower spine first. And slowly roll the spine up from tail to head. Come back up into your shoulder bridge. Chest is wide and open, palms pressing into the floor. More muscles engage here. Don't let your hands relax. And now inhale, we stay. Exhale, now let's roll down again, bone by bone. Okay, and now coming back in, relax your feet and return the natural arch. Let's do one more time, we stay there. Inhale. Exhale, push your heels away, start to tuck the tailbone, roll the spine off, one bone at a time. Now when we're here, get your position right, arms still pressing down. Inhale, I'd like you to just keep the spine like one plank position, so you're not going to mobilize the spine. Just lower your hips down by hinging at the front of your hips. Inhale, push it up, one. And now lowering down, and two. Now the slower you do this exercise, the harder it is. 3, and lower. You want control, like your body's just moving in one plane, which is the up and down plane. 5, last one here, and 6, hold it up. Now, if that's still too easy for you, let's do a progression, all right? Now try to keep your pelvis level. You're going to activate your deep core. Now lift one leg off the floor. And now you're going to stay on one glute. Okay, let's try 3 times only. Now let's lower the hips down halfway. Push it up, 1. Squeeze your bums. Now 2, and push up as high as you can. Last one here, down. And now push it up as high as you can. Now slowly, let's place the other foot on the floor. And now try to keep your hips level. Let's do it on the other side too. Now, engage your core, maintain the pelvis level. Let's bring your right leg up. Now let's lower the hips halfway down, and now push up 1. And lowering down, pushing up, squeeze your bum, squeeze your hamstrings for 2. Last one here, down. and 3. Of course, you can hold it there for a little longer if you still don't feel the burn. You can do more reps if you want to. All right, now let's place that foot down, maintain pelvis level again, and now you're going to roll the spine down, bone by bone. Come back in, relax your feet, grounding on the floor, and return. Ooh, okay. Now, if that was too easy, you can obviously do like 10 reps or 15 reps, that's fine, all right? So if you're trying this at home, don't forget to tag us on Get Active TV. Or if you have got any questions, feel free to shoot me a comment and we'll love to help you. All right, thanks for joining me on Break It Down. It's time for a quick break, but when you come back, it's over to Kelly and Barbara again. Don't go anywhere. See you soon.
Well, we are back. How about that? Fastest break ever. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed the morning show with Kelly and Barbara so far today. We have covered so much.
I know. And Betsy was talking about the glutes and hamstrings, and she was doing the bridges. And I've actually tried to do it with my legs straight, and it's just not possible, man. I do not have the flexibility for that.
Well, never mind. It's something you can definitely work on, especially with us. Maybe tomorrow's guest will be able to help you out with that. It's Tough Nut Thursday tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're bringing all the toughest nuts in the world on to the show on Thursdays. We've got Marco Justin from Infinite Academy. It's a kickboxing and HIIT gym. So he's going to be taking us through some stretches that are more kickboxing oriented for all of us who want to try something new during the circuit breaker period.
Well, you might be using your legs a bit more, so you might be able to work those glutes and hamstrings that you've got problems with. We're also having a chat with Sarah Wee, front woman 453A, yogi extraordinaire and singing teacher.
And cat lady.
And cat lady, and famous cat lady and bubble tea fan. Who else do we have, May?
We've also got Stella Ong from Love Bonito, who also sometimes sponsors our outfits as well. Thank you, Love Bonito. So she'll be coming in and doing a little bit of a styling session. It's our first styling session. I'm getting my words all kerfuffled up today. Styling session this circuit breaker period, and we're going to be taking a look at some work from home looks, so how to dress for those Zoom calls.
And don't forget, we've got that Subway meal to be given away as well. If you haven't already done so, like and share our stream and tell us, are you a tights or shorts kind of person in order to qualify to win that $20 Kydra voucher. Plenty still to come on the show. 12 o'clock is when you've got In Your House with Raj Kumar, so sit around and wait for that. But we are done for today. Make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you stay safe, stay strong, and stay at home.